Welcome back to the channel, guys and gals. My name is Norman, also known as King Julian here on the channel. So I recently got emailed a question that somebody asked and said, hey Norm, I didn't get to see a lot of these builds or the numbers. What did this locomotive start out at? Well, we're going to say thank you to Lionel in 1954. Why is 1954 so important? Lionel produced a boxcab electric number 520. It was just a little 042 that they had stamped sheet metal framing on that made it look like it had dual axles on it, or dual wheel setups. And again, I mean, it was just the perfect. I had a couple of these shells that I had bought. One was actually to replace the unit on one that came in that was already broke. And so I got looking at it, I was like, you know what? I really want to do something different. I've been building passenger cars. I've built tank cars, kit bashed. It was time to do something different. So I was like, you know what? We're doing this. So while I was in the process and I first glued these together and started working on it, I was like, you know, I've got a name for almost every one of my locomotives. And I wanted to do something for my oldest son, which is Norman Kyle. We also call him Texas Norm. So in the process of mixed and working on this locomotive got its name, Texas Norm. He is my oldest. So therefore, this locomotive, even when I'm gone, is his. And I hope he cherishes it. There's been a lot of work went into it. There was a wood piece put in here and shaved down. There's been body filler put in here, the U-Paul, glaze filler for doing minor scratches and stuff, which worked out great for doing some of the stuff I needed to do. I filled in porthole windows here, modified the side here, more body filler up here to smooth out the sides and bring everything into contrast like how I wanted. Now the original light system, which was these right here, there was one on each side. Those were cut off and removed and sanded down, and one on each end was put each end of this locomotive. And as I'm getting ready to do other stuff, such as cut the over here, cut the doors in over here on each end, both sides, and create new doors to go in here. And then, of course, we got the screening that has to go in here, along with the extra little pieces of bracing. Not a big deal. This area down here, this little lip, as you can see, there's a piece missing right here. This piece is very, very brittle after all these years. Again, these shells are 1954. So they do have a tendency to become very brittle over time. Now, part of the reason I have not repaired this just yet is because I've got to get the motors ordered, which will be in a couple of weeks because I'm not home and I don't want them sitting out on the porch and I don't want them getting lost at the house. Part of the reason I'm holding off on doing that just yet is because the one I'm ordering is a DC can. It's actually a Williams unit. So I've got to see if that DC can is too big in here. If it is, then I've got to remove this edge anyways and then turn around and add probably the same width as this, which is roughly about 1/4 inch, I think. And then I'll have to remake this whole edge for the frame. So I'm not rushing it right now. Still got to remove the insides right here because the board will be in here. I know I will probably have to wind up making this part of the frame and actually repurpose and re-drill all the other stuff for the motors and trucks to mount to. So there again, I'm not getting in a rush to do that part. And this one's coming along very, very nicely. I got a feeling because this shell is already getting heavy, it's got some weight to it, which is actually really good. But when it's all said and done, I've got a feeling this locomotive, she's going to be a puller. She he, however you want to look at it. Its name is Texas Norm, so we're just going to call it a he and be done with it. But in the real world, mechanical devices, men always call the machines they're working on a she. Don't ask me why, we just do. If that's the case where I have to raise the body, then I have to remake the mount holes on each end. At that point, I'm going to go ahead and flush mount this right here, so there's no indentation on both ends. And then I will create a new hole with a new tab for this body to sit on, so that when you go to pick it up, everything's solid and it mounts like it's supposed to. So again, these shells started out as the Lionel 520 box cab electric. They say they're 027. Again, I may have to wind up raising it because of the DC can motor, but even at that, it's a piece of Lionel history. These are things people did back in the day, that if Lionel didn't make it, you built it. And as one of my subscribers said, built, not bought. So I'm very happy with that. And then once this locomotive is finished up, I have another one that I'm going to start working on. And of course, my youngest son, Rogue, I'm wanting to build one for him, not as a diesel, but as electric, because he really likes Tesla cars. For whatever reason, he likes them. And it will be an overhead electric with pantograms on both ends. So there again, it'll be a little bit shorter than this one, because this is going to be like the big brother, and the other one's going to be like the little brother that says, I run off electric. And then I've got one I'm doing that's a very special locomotive. That one I'm not giving up any information on, other. It's going to be a very special steam locomotive. How I see somebody is absolutely beautiful, elegant, graceful, beautiful, you name it. Every aspect of how I see this person is going into this locomotive. So, and then there's William, Caitlin, Caleb, Mackenzie, and Grace. That's a lot of locomotives to be building on this channel, and I got a feeling I'm going to be building a lot of them in between other projects. So, again, this one, we're going to start the detailing on top. As you can see what I'm doing right here. I've been kind of playing with the idea of radio antennas. Some of my earlier kit bash cabooses, such as the Hutch, the NDM, that y'all have seen me do on this channel, all had the radio antennas on it. Pennsylvania Railroad was known for that. Now, since this does follow the FF1 Pennsylvania electric locomotive that they call Big Liz, that one did not have pantograph or communication lines run on it. And when I started building this one, again, it went down to a what-if scenario. If Big Liz was still around and they wanted to make her run again, you know, if they could dieselize it or use the shell, even if they kept the shell around, they said, hey, let's put it on a diesel. You know, this is a what-if scenario on this one. So that's kind of where I'm going at. I may wind up putting some radiograph wiring up here. Haven't decided. If I do, it will not be anything up here. It would be here. Like one piece would be like maybe, you know, right here and right here, opposite of each other. Then again, Pennsylvania was also known from going from basically the cab to cab. So that's kind of a big stretch. But we'll just see what happens. But I still got LED lights put in, which I got plenty of LED lights. And I think this one's going to wind up being, I think she's going to be a puller. He, I got to get used to calling this one a he. So, Texas Norm is definitely coming around. Yes, these markings right here were something I was looking at, so I marked them, but probably won't do that. And at 21 inches long, she's a big locomotive. Hey. We'll call it the early version of the DD40X. That was a big locomotive. Very big. So yes, still a lot of work to go, but it's getting along. It's coming along a lot faster than we all expected. Yeah, I'm just really happy with how it's turning out. As always, keep the shiny side up, rubber down. I'll see you on the next video. I hope you all enjoyed the shorts, and I'll throw some more shorts out there in a little bit. As always, again, thank you all for being here. Very, very heartfelt thank you to each and every one of y'all. Thank you. We will see y'all again on the next video. Take it easy. Y'all have a great night.